Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2015. It is now January 1st by the time that this video will be coming out, and I figured that there is going to be no better way to start the new year than a nice, intense battle against my buddy Jack, JustWeavile. You probably know who he is. He's definitely up and coming. All of his information will be in the description below. I suggest you guys go check him out. He puts up a lot of good stuff. Now, this battle that we had, it's a little bit of an interesting one. This is actually going to be like a mixed tier of UU and below. So with my team, I'm actually going to be bringing Banded Ninjask, which I absolutely love. I'm also bringing Banded Mienshao, which is going to be a Banded Jolly Reckless set, which absolutely is, to be honest, is disgusting how much power it really has. As my defensive walls, I'm going to be bringing my Tentacool, which is my bold wall, but it has natural special bulk, and is really it's a nice Pokemon. I really enjoy using it in the lower tiers. Also, my Bronzong I'm going to be using. So they both have hazards to set up. Bronzong has the Stealth Rocks. Tentacool has the Toxic Spikes, and he doesn't seem to have any kind of toxic user. I mean, poison type to take away the Toxic Spikes, but he does have a Rapid Spinner in his Pineco. Also, I haven't used Heliolisk in a long time, so I figured I'd bring that along, and I wanted to try and surprise him with an offensive Whimsicott, which actually is gonna look like play a little bit of a role because he does have a Dragon type with him, so I might be able to get like a sneak kill on it. But looking at his team, he definitely has a solid team built. He has the Pineco to set up hazards and spin away mine. He has an Emboar, which is literally just straight destruction, which reminds me, Reckless is going to be released soon with the new year, along with Contrary Superior, so keep your eyes out for that. That thing is going to end up being a real issue with Leaf Storm, so that's going to be a lot of fun to play with. Also, he has Zipstrika, which is a lot of speed and a lot of power, especially with the spec set, which spoiler, he's running a spec set. The Aromatisse, which is extremely annoying because it has Wish, Protect, Aromatherapy, Moonblast, Toxic, all that. A Kingdra, which is definitely going to be a threat, especially, if it's going to be that Focus Energy, Draco Meteor crit set. And then a Zelf, which is always a pain in the butt. And I know that he likes to run Explosion. One thing I need to look out for. So I am going to get this battle started. And I'm going to lead off with one of my favorite leads in the entire game. And that's going to be one bad Gato, my Ninjask, my Banded Ninjask. And he's going to want to lead off with his Zelf. I figure he may want to stay in and end up going for, Stealth Rocks, whatever else as Zelfs may normally do. He might just want to U-turn off the bat. I figured he'd probably live with a Focus Sash because I normally see Focus Sash as Zelfs or Life Orb as Zelfs. So either or, I'm kind of okay with that. He's just going to straight up go for a taunt because Ninjask has the reputation of literally just going for Swords Dance, Sub, Baton Pass, blah. Not about that. So we go CB Ninjask, and we're going to go right into Bronzong. Now from here, since he did tell me I can't set up my Stealth Rocks, so I am just going to go straight for a Psyshock, as he is actually going to bring his Kingdra here. And luckily for me, he doesn't just straight up go for any kind of Dragon Dance ring. So I'm actually going to bring in Fear, which is my Whimsicott. He's ended up going for the Waterfall. And from here, I wasn't fully confident in going for a Moonblast. I wouldn't know if it would live, because I know that it does have some decent bulk in it with like 80 and everything. So I didn't really trust it at first. So actually, U-turn back into my Bronzong. And this actually works out for me really well because it turns out that he ended up going for Iron Head, so I'm going to resist that. And I take that really well. And now I'm going to get a really nice opportunity here to try and set up my Stealth Rocks because I'd like to stop that Zelf because I know that thing's probably going to be packing Explosion, which I also have Explosion on my Bronzong, so I kind of want to get my Explosion off before he gets his Explosion off because I just want to see a big boom somewhere. So I am going to be able to get my Stealth Rocks in. Here, I didn't think he would want to go for Overheat this early in the game. So what I'm going to opt to do is I'm just going to stay in, figuring he's going to go for a Volt Switch, and then something's going to have to take a Psyshock and just go from there. And by the way, like that damage goes, the Volt Switch almost doing 50%. I am defensive build, but that is a lot of damage. So it definitely tells me he's definitely some kind of spec set. And then he ends up coming into his Pineco, which is going to be the Eviolite set, and it's just so bulky that it's going to eat that up deliciously. And now all I can really do here is kind of go for a Toxic and try and wear this thing down, because I would like to get this thing out of the way so that my stealth rocks can set up. But he's just going to end up rapid spinning here. It's going to take away like 3 HP. But the real thing is that my stealth rocks are gone, so that means the Azelf is still going to be hanging around. Now, I thought here was like, I see an opportunity. Let me switch out, because first of all, I really can't touch this thing. And if I go into my used to be cool Tentacool, not only can I threaten it out from the special side, but I will be able to set up my toxic spikes for later on, because I figured having toxic spikes up would benefit me just in case the Kingdra has any kind of Lum Berry, because I do know that they end up running Lum. And if I can keep the Zebstrika in long enough, I can try and whittle it down just a little bit with the poison damage. So I figured that would be beneficial. But the Emboar comes in, and luckily for me, I outspeed, so I do get 1 layer of toxic spikes up. But then he pretty much just destroys my life with a wild charge, and I'm free to just bring in my Ninjask and go for an aerial ace. I don't want to play around. I didn't want to over predict either and go for a U-turn and have him stay in. So I figured aerial ace would be my best bet. If he wants to go into the Zebstrika after that, I am okay with that, because he will end up getting poisoned even if he wants to rapid spin away. And then I will be able to go into my Bronzong here and take the hit, because I know he's going to go for Volt Switch, because there's no way I'm going to stay in on that thing, especially being a spec set, because I really like keeping my Ninjask around so I can keep forcing switches with the U-turn. And if they want to stay in, I just literally just letting out big hits. Now, the Azelf finds his way in here, and he ends up going for a nice play here. He's going to go for the knockoff. I did go for the explosion here just in case I lived whatever hit it was. I didn't really think that Azelf got knockoff, but apparently Azelf does get knockoff. So that's actually a really nice play on his part, because not only does he get the kill with knockoff and stop my rocks, and he also dodges my toxic spikes because he has levitate. So now he's pretty much guaranteed to get an explosion off on anything that I'd like. So he's going to switch out. I'm going to bring in my Ninjask U-turn as he brings in his Pineco here. But now Pineco is pretty much at a range of health where it is revengeable, so my toxic spikes are going to be up for the remainder of the battle, and I'm going to be able to just go for a Thunderbolt here. Now this battle I was running a Scarfed Heliolisk just so I could literally outspeed everything. But now that I think about it, if he would have went for a really like risky play, he could have switched in the Zebstrika if it had the motor drive and got a speed boost, and then pretty much been scarfed and specs. But that ends up not happening. He's just gonna let his Pineco go down, go into the Azelf, get an explosion off on my Chiquita Banana, because I really has no use to be anymore. And I figured the best thing that could have been exploded on would have been my Heliolisk, so it worked out beneficially. Now here I end up going into Frapples, because I figured I'd pretty much be able to outspeed everything on his team. If he thinks that I'm Scarf, because generally these do run Scarf, I might be able to scare out the Zebstrika with a Volt Switch, and I could just go for U-turn. He would think something like that would happen. But luckily for me, he ends up going right into the Kingdra. I could just take that straight out. He's going to go into his Aromatisse, which is going to definitely scare me out, because I don't want to be in. Even though I am Reckless and Bandit, it's a resisted hit, and I'm sure this thing is defensive as hell. So I'm just going to go straight into Fear my Whimsicott. End up taking a Moonblast, not as well as I thought, because I'm really not any kind of defensive variant. And now this part I was really stressing about, because I didn't know if he was going to go for a Wish, because at the end of this turn I'm going to end up taking myself out to Life Orb damage. If he gets a free Wish off, then I literally just wasted my Whimsicott. And I do have Taunt on this set, just in case, because I am fast enough. But luckily for me, he's going to end up going for the Moonblast. And I don't know if he maybe didn't think that, you know, Wish would have been too beneficial, because he is poisoned. But he ends up not going for it. I don't know if he's carrying it. I don't know, maybe he's doing an offensive build or something. But I'm just going to go ahead and lock myself into Aerial Ace, figuring, oh, no problem, I could just take it out from here. He ends up living on like 1 HP, and then he's going to proceed to go for a Moonblast. I am going to live that. But now the one issue is his last Pokemon is going to be the Zebstrika, which is going to resist my attack. Now, my attack is only, I believe, like base 60. It's never going to miss. It is Choice Bandit. I am Adamant. I do have Stab. But even with all those boosts, it's really not going to be doing a lot to this guy. Now, I could have sacrificed Frapples and then came back with a Choice Bandit U-turn. I'm not sure if that would have killed. I never did any kind of calculations or anything. But here it also confirms that he's not a Scarf set. So now he is confirmed spec set. and he's locked into his most powerful move, which is his Thunderbolt, because he has his stab on it with the specs and all that, and it's not going to drop his special attack going for Overheat. Now I need to land, well, first of all, I need to live a Thunderbolt, which I do. Alright, I didn't want to give anything away before it happens. So I end up living on 9 HP, and then I have to land a high jump kick, which, as you see here, I do end up landing the high jump kick. And literally, this battle had my heart in my throat. I figured it'd be a really epic way to start off the new year with a very close battle with a good buddy. So once again, all of his links will be in the description below. Go check him out. I hope you guys enjoyed this battle for the beginning of the year. Once again, Happy New Year to you guys. Enjoy the year. Enjoy your friends, your family. Life's too short to be grumpy. So get out there, be happy, enjoy life, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.